If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you survived the insanity that is Season 2 of Outer Range, a show with more holes than a putting edge. And if you're like me, you came away from Season 2 a bit more frustrated than excited about a potential Season 3.
It's not going to be fine! Everything is not fine! Why does everyone keep saying that?
That's because we got almost no answers to anything, and this season packs on more and more unanswered questions. Lucky for you, I'm a masochist, and in this video we'll attempt to answer some of the show's biggest burning questions. If you need a refresher, I've left a link to my Season 1 video in the description below. Now before we jump into that hole, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of the season below. The hole is arguably the biggest mystery of the show. By the end of Season 1, we only have confirmation of 2 living people that have gone through this hole and survived. The first is young Royal, who went through in 1886 after shooting his father, and the second is Perry. By the end of Season 2, many more have gone through this supernatural portal, including young Amy, Sheriff Joy, and Wayne Tillerson. And there's no rhyme or reason as to when and where the hole will spit you back up. It's as if the hole is part of a greater power orchestrating some higher plan.
And we're reminded that coincidence is not a word in God's book. He's arranged every moment.
At the beginning of episode 6, Royal says that the hole might be a byproduct of God forgetting to fix time when he broke it to create man. Now God laughs from up on high as we try to fix or make sense of it. One of the biggest pieces of information we get this season is that there could be countless others who have gone through the hole who have little or nothing to do with our characters. When Sheriff Joy travels to 1882, she meets a member of the Shoshone tribe named Falling Star, who is actually from the year 1972. She has very little impact on the main story, so why then was she chosen to go through the hole? Is she part of a bigger plan, or is the hole merely a cosmic joke, as Royal says, something we humans need to give meaning to in order for us to feel important? Autumn believes the hole to be of the utmost importance, in Season 1 calling herself its gatekeeper. In Visions of the Future, we'll see that she has assembled some sort of cult that centers itself around this hole and the black mineral beneath the abbot's land. She believes she's their leader and has some sort of connection with a higher being, but this could all be bullshit inside her head. I equate it to when humans didn't really know what volcanoes were, and these shamans would come along proclaiming these volcanoes were some sort of god. This was done to give meaning to the unknown, but we as humans just didn't understand what volcanoes were at the time. Cannot the same be said of this hole? We don't know what it is, so when Autumn comes along giving answers, people are going to be drawn to that. Autumn herself has bought into this idea that she is important, that she is part of some bigger plan. However, it's possible this is all part of some grand delusion. Autumn is mentally unstable and takes bipolar medication, something we'll see her take in the final episode. She herself is looking for meaning in life. She even goes on her own journey to learn about God. So we can see how this notion of the known versus the unknown weaves itself through both seasons. The huge billboard from the climax of Season 1 states, "America tells you that the only things worth knowing are those which can be known. America is wrong." Autumn talks about how the Greek god Kronos used his sickle to cut a hole through the cosmos, separating heaven from earth and the known from the unknown. Episode 7 of Season 1 is called The Unknown, and Autumn even refers to herself as the gatekeeper of the unknown. Not only does Royal Abbott's land have this hole, but a mysterious black mineral which sometimes comes in the form of liquid goo. Not much is known about this mineral other than it has healing properties and allows its user to see visions of the past and future. It seems to act as some sort of mirror into the lives of our past or future selves. We'll actually see Autumn looking into a literal mirror and seeing her younger version after taking some of this mineral. The best example of this is Wayne Tillerson, who in present day takes some of the mineral and for a brief moment inhabits a younger version of himself back in 1984. This is where he sees Perry Abbott and realizes that he's been traveling through time. We'll see Wayne toss himself into the hole after losing 2 of his children and the 3rd one betraying him. We aren't quite sure where he ends up, but we will see him, or at least a version of him, in the flash forwards from Season 1. Now, I was really disappointed that Season 2 didn't offer us any new insight into these scenes from Season 1. We see Royal Abbott briefly travel to this time where it appears giant oil rigs have been set up on his land to extract this black mineral. It seems everyone here has been waiting for him, judging by the large countdown timer in the background, but check out the name of this company here, BY9. This same company can be found behind this picture of Dr. Bintu. Near the end of the season, Dr. Bintu makes a deal with Royal's son Rhett to help her convince Royal to let her work on his land and study this mysterious mineral. It looks like this deal proves fruitful. Dr. Bintu believes
that the fabric of time and space is fluid, that it can be quantified.
This water is what flows underneath Royal's land.
That's what I believe is flowing beneath the land. Time.
This connects with the chant, "Time is a river," which all of Royal's family repeats at the end. Coincidentally enough, Autumn's last name is Rivers. Another vision we get no further information on is Royal's death. This is something we saw in Season 1 and takes place 2 years before he arrives to see the oil rigs on his land. Perry's journey through the hole this season ends with a shocking revelation that we might be dealing with a multiverse, just in case the show couldn't get any more complicated. Up until this point, we've run on the assumption that time is linear and our characters are hopping back and forth through times on this line. However, when Perry makes it back to his time after traveling from 1984, he realizes it's not his time at all. Perry has made it back the tragic night he killed Trevor Tillerson. However, in this alternate timeline, he prevents this murder from happening, but ends up killing this world's version of himself instead. The last we see of Perry is him seemingly taking over the identity of this Perry so that he can go back to living his normal life before things went to hell. I also love this cheeky look from Royal, almost as if he knows this might be a different Perry. The multiverse also explains why Royal has a different recollection of events than Joy when it comes to the death of his father. In Season 1, we see how Royal killed his father in a hunting accident, but in Season 2, Royal kills his father after he's told to shoot Joy. Is this a different timeline in the multiverse, or did Royal simply misremember how these events unfolded? Luke has gone through his own terrifying journey this season, culminating in him killing his own brother. His visions show him side by side with Autumn as she leads her cult. This is a man that will do anything to protect Autumn, including kidnapping and murder, as he believes she is meant for some greater purpose. At this point, we aren't quite sure what Autumn's plan is, only that it involves taking Amy, the younger version of herself, and throwing her into the hole. She really has a disdain for her biological mother, Rebecca, who she believes kidnapped her not out of love, but out of spite.
You didn't take us out of love, you took us out of spite.
Autumn, Luke, and Amy arrive at the hole and are stopped by Sheriff Joy, who shoots Autumn, knocking Amy into it. The hole then disappears. At the same time, Royal experiences some sort of paralysis and crashes his car. This hole somehow links everyone who's gone through it. We've seen weird things happen every time Royal and Autumn touch, such as the mountain disappearing in Season 1 or how the stars move in Season 2. Autumn is pronounced dead at the hospital, however miraculously comes back to life when Amy appears in this desert. It almost implies that as long as young Amy is alive, Autumn cannot die. Perhaps this is why Autumn needed to push her through that hole. We aren't exactly sure where or when Amy is. These two backpackers appear to be American, so we can assume this is somewhere in the United States. And for all we know, we could be sometime in the late 90s, early 2000s, which would line up with Amy growing up and eventually making her way to the Abbott Ranch in the 2020s. Amy seems to have lost any memory of who she is or where she came from. All she can remember is the name Autumn. The season ends with Royal waking up from this paralysis, telling Joy that they must do everything they can to stop Autumn, and her saying,
This is just the beginning.
So what is it that this future holds? Well, all we really know is what we saw in Season 1. Royal will die, and his land will be taken over to process this black mineral. And that's what's so frustrating about this season, is that it really didn't give us anything new to hold on to. I'm not even sure what a Season 3 will look like. But I want to hear from you. Am I talking crazy, or was Season 2 a step in the right direction? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and for more bad takes you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
Everything is not fine! Why does everyone keep saying that?